Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're here with me today. We are going to practice English in an easy, fun, and effective way. Today, we'll use the shadowing technique. If you haven't heard of it, here's how it works. First, listen to me read a sentence. Then, repeat it after me. Try to copy my tone, speed, and pronunciation, just like a shadow following the original sound. This method is simple, but very powerful. It will help you speak English more naturally and confidently. The story we will read today is called Last Call. It's about two strangers, a shared space, and an unexpected connection that lingers. Before we start, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you won't miss new story lessons. All right, let's begin. My flight to Seattle was delayed. 4 hours, maybe more. The airport felt like a place between worlds. Too bright, too loud, too nowhere. I sat near the large windows. Planes moved like slow animals across the runway. The sun was setting, painting the sky orange and violet. It should have been beautiful, but I felt tired in a way that didn't have much to do with sleep. My name is Maya. I was coming back from a work trip, another presentation, another room of strangers pretending to care. I had a book in my hands, but the words dissolved every time I looked at them. My thoughts were elsewhere, somewhere I couldn't name. And then, someone spilled coffee. Not on me, just close enough that I felt the heat of surprise. Sorry, God. Sorry, the guy said, kneeling with too many napkins. His backpack slipping off his shoulder, hair falling into his eyes. He looked up at me, embarrassed, and laughed quietly at himself. It's okay, I said. Really. He sat one seat away, close enough to be near, but not assuming anything. He had soft features, a slightly anxious energy, like someone who always prepared to apologize, but his eyes were alive, curious, present. His name, I learned later, was Evan. For a while, we just sat in silence. Not uncomfortable, just open. The airport announcer called out flight numbers. Wheels rolled, luggage clicked. The air smelled like coffee and something fried. Eventually, Evan spoke first. Long delay? He asked. 4 hours, I said. He winced in sympathy. Ouch! I've got about 2. Where are you headed? I asked. He hesitated before answering, and I noticed. People only hesitate when the answer matters. Boston, he said. I'm moving there. Big change, I said. He nodded. Yeah, I think so. He didn't say more, and I didn't ask. We let the conversation live in the space between us. We talked about small things at first: weather, coffee, the strange comfort of airport bookstores. But slowly, without planning to, we slid into heavier places. He told me he always felt like he was behind in life. Like everyone else got a manual for being human, and he didn't. I told him I was good at leaving. Jobs, places, people. That I always took the exit before I could be missed. He looked at me then, not with pity, not with judgment, just seeing. That must get lonely, he said. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. He already knew. The minutes passed like warm water. Not quick, not slow. Just steady. There was something about airports. Maybe it was the way everyone was going somewhere. Maybe it was the way time stretched as folded. Maybe it was the knowledge that most people you meet here, you will never see again. It made honesty easier. Evan told me about his new job, about how he didn't know if he was ready, about how leaving his old city felt both freeing and terrifying. I told him that going home didn't feel like going home anymore. Sometimes, when I unlocked my apartment door, the silence inside waited for me. It greeted me like an ache. He leaned forward slightly. "Do you ever feel like you're living a life you didn't exactly choose?" he asked. I looked at the reflections of people moving across the polished floor. "Yes," I said quietly. "All the time." There was no rush, no expectation. The conversation unfolded itself. Then the announcement came. "Boarding call for Flight 318 to Boston." Evan stood slowly, like someone waking from a warm dream. He picked up his backpack and looked at me, not with regret, but with something softer. "Thank you," he said. "For what?" I asked. "For talking to me," he said. "For being here." It sounded simple, but I understood what he meant. Sometimes you meet someone for one evening, and it changes something you didn't know needed to change. He took a step back, another. Then he paused. He turned around again. "Would you want to keep talking?" he asked. His voice was quiet, almost shy. "Just a little longer?" I blinked. My heart made a small, startled movement in my chest. "But your flight," I said. "I know," he said. "But maybe I don't want to leave just yet." I didn't speak at first. I felt the moment settle like dusk on skin. Then I stood. "Come on," I said. "Walk with me." We walked through the terminal. He walked next to me, not ahead, not behind. We reached my gate. The screen above it glowed. Passengers lined up. The world was still moving around us. He stopped. "So," he said, "this is your flight." I nodded. We both knew what this was. Not a beginning, not a love story, not something meant to last. Something else, something rare. A moment that asks nothing except to be felt. "Evan," I said. He looked at me, and I smiled. Not because I was happy, but because something had opened in me. "You're going to be okay," I said. "Boston will be good to you." His eyes softened, and I saw something shift in him too. Something unknotted. "And you," he said, "will stop leaving." It wasn't a question. It wasn't a promise. Just a truth, spoken gently. The final boarding call sounded for my flight. I stepped back. He watched me. No dramatic goodbye. No reaching out. No kiss. Just a quiet recognition that what we shared was real. I walked toward the gate. I didn't look back at first. But when I did, he was still there. Not waiting. Just witnessing. I lifted my hand in a small wave. He smiled soft, steady. Then he turned and walked away. I boarded my plane, found my seat, closed my eyes, and for the first time in a long time, I did not feel alone. Some people don't stay in your life, but they stay in your story. And sometimes that is enough. Great work! You finished the story. Now, I recommend listening to it again and repeating each sentence out loud. This will help you improve your speaking, listening, and pronunciation skills. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for practicing English with me today. See you next time.